Good morning, friends. Hola, amigos. Buenos dias. Buenos dias. So today I'm doing something really exciting. So I've been in Mexico now for a year and a half, but I've been a resident here for a year. I got my temporary residency a year ago. So when you come into Mexico initially, you get 1 year on your residency, and then you have to reapply. So I'm going to reapply, and this is going to give me a 3-year temporary residency. So I'm going to take y'all with me as we go through the process. Amigos, do not forget to hit that subscribe button and subscribe. You know, and I also want to just give a shout out to my subscribers. Like, I really love and appreciate you guys so much. Like, you know, every time I come on this channel and y'all drop me these comments to just like encourage me and motivate me to keep going, like, you know, it means the world to me. It means the world to me. Like, I appreciate it so much. Like, your comments literally just make my day, like, every single time. So please continue to do those. I love and appreciate you guys. Thank you for being a part of my journey. And now I'm gonna jump into the video. All right, amigos, so before I jump into this video, I just wanna share a little bit of context on the residency renewal process. So for this process, you know, there is like no requirement that you have to work with someone to go through the process. Pretty much anybody can go through the process on their own. Like, it's very common to do it. You know, there are a lot of like YouTubers who've like vlogged and documented their journey going through it. And I've watched a few of them, you know, so I watched a few of them and I'm like, okay, this seemed pretty simple, pretty straightforward. I'm just gonna do it on my own. So in this video, I'm gonna be going through the process on my own. And I did not expect to run into obstacles because it was fairly easy from watching other people do it. But I'm gonna be sharing some of the obstacles I experienced as I went through that process. Yes, I'm gonna stress again, like, there is no requirement to hire somebody to do this. Anybody can do this on their own. Like, even when you get to the office, the immigration office, there's signs everywhere just saying that you do not need to hire anybody to go through this process, right? So your average person from Argentina, from like, you know, Cuba, from whatever Spanish speaking country, they're just doing this on their own, you know. I would say if I were to compare it to a process that we're all familiar with, it would be very similar to renewing your license at the DMV in New York, right? It is almost identical in terms of filling out some paperwork and then you show up, you know, and you wait and you get online. Like, it is pretty much identical to that process that like a lot of us are familiar with and have gone through so many times. So it's not anything complex. I would probably say part 3, you know, applying for that 3-year for me felt easier than applying for the part 1. And I've had friends who don't even speak Spanish do the part 1 on their own, you know. So it's just to preface with a little bit of like context about like, you know, the requirements. Like, anybody can go about doing this on their own, you know. And as many of you know, yo hablo español con fluidez, entonces yo puedo hacerlo sin ayuda. Estaba pensando que puedo hacerlo sin ayuda. So I'm going to go re-up for 3 years today, and I'm gonna take y'all with me. So first I have to stop to print all the documents. So I'm gonna stop at Bunker Co-working just to print the documents, and then I'll get some money, hop in a cab, and go see. So I actually do not have an appointment. So typically you have to set up an appointment, but there are no spots online, and I'm just gonna try to wing it, show up and beg, cry if I have to, so they will accept me. So we're gonna see. If all else fails, I'll at least just set up the appointment and I'll go back another day. But we'll see. Love this space. Es la chica que me está ayudando a imprimir las cosas que necesito y luego me voy. Gracias. The line is long. Okay guys, so I went and they're saying that like I need to make an appointment online, but the problem is I already tried to make the appointment online and there are no appointments for like months, so we'll see. So here's the challenge I'm having. There are like no dates available in November and then no dates in December. Right, you can't click anything, and then these are blocked. So the only way to really get an appointment is to go through a lawyer, and I literally don't need the lawyer because I've done literally everything I need to do. Like, there's nothing for the lawyer to do except for schedule the appointment for me. And one other piece of clarification, so throughout this video I'm going to be using the word lawyer, but this person not a lawyer, this person is a facilitator, right? They're not providing you any legal advice whatsoever. This person, you're just hiring them to kind of walk you through the process, and it's more so like filling out the paperwork, making sure you have the right documents, you know. So I'm using the word lawyer as I'm saying it, but every time you hear the word lawyer, I want you to think facilitator, right? This is not a person you're hiring to do anything legal for you in any way, shape, or form. It's basically like a translator, somebody to just make sure, like, you know, the documents are correct. This person will, you know, they will go with you to your appointment, but they're not allowed to go inside the office with you. So when you're inside the office, you're on your own. They're pretty much going to walk you through and make sure you filled out the paperwork correctly and just sit outside with you until your number is called, and then you kind of navigate the process from there on your own. And today I'm going down to Cancun to renew that residency. So I'm gonna start off by taking the bus, which is the ADO bus, into Cancun. It's about $5 to leave from Playa del Carmen. So I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna go to the immigration office there. There is an immigration office in Playa del Carmen, but I've tried so many times that I just can't get an appointment. I even went there and wasn't successful. So I'm just gonna go down to Cancun. Cancun is about an hour away, so I'll just make a fun trip out of it. I might meet up with my friend Victoria, who you met in my vlog where we volunteered with the kiddos. We might meet up because she actually lives in Cancun. So come with me today and I'm gonna show you the process. All right, so we're at the ADO bus terminal. And then when you get in here, you're gonna buy your ticket up here. All right, so I'm gonna show you the process of getting your ticket, and then I'm gonna wait for the bus and get on the bus next.
Tenemos para el aeropuerto, terminan como a las 12. 12:20 es el que sigue. Ok, te encargo 2. ¿Cuánto hace el autobús? Una hora. Sí.
Okay.
¿Perdón?
Sales a Cancún Centro 10:50, en la plataforma 1 lo esperas, no se anuncia.
Okay, gracias. I just got my ticket, so this is my ticket. But before I get on the bus, I'm gonna get some snacks. So I need some water, so we're gonna get some water and then we'll get the bus and head off. So there's a cool little store here. And I get a big one. So this is like 18 pesos. It's about like $1 US. Hola, amiga. Gracias. Alright, so once you leave that area, you can come back here to wait. Alright guys, so this one is actually going to Cancun Airport. So Cancun Airport is a different bus than the one going to Cancun downtown. So this one pulling up is going to be my bus now going downtown. board my bus.
Centro.
Hola.
Hola.
Buen día.
Buenos días. A 108.
Gracias.
Adelante.
Gracias.
¿Puedes bajarte?
Mira esto.
Alright, so these are your seat numbers.
Porque si algo le
and
pasa
you
al auto,
in
estaremos
here.
desempleados y endeudados para siempre.
Ok, no soy tan tonta, Sean. Te lo pido, entra. Manejaré lento.
¡Cuidado con ese auto!
Ahí te encargo. Ahí te encargo.
Supe que Katie era una rebelde cuando la...
Alright guys, I am here. Alright guys, I am here. I made it to Cancun. I'm hopping off the ADO bus. I'm very close to where I'm going. I'm only 6 minutes away, so I'm gonna walk. But yeah, this is basically where you're gonna get off the bus and what you're gonna see when you get off. Well, I've never seen the Oriente. This is another bus. Alright y'all, so I need to figure out where I'm going. I haven't been to Cancun in so long. I took the bus here once, like downtown. So I need to go figure it out on maps, and then I'm gonna resume when I figure out where I am, okay? So we gonna talk soon. So I am here. Alright guys, so I made it. I was early. I even had time to run to the little store to get some water and everything, and now I still have about 30 minutes until they call me for my appointment. So you just kind of wait outside, and then when they call you, go in. I'm pretty sure they're not going to let me vlog when I'm inside, so you probably won't be able to see that process, but I'm really keeping my fingers crossed that everything works out today for me. Thank you. No puedo creer. Espera. Alright guys, so after that last clip, the guy came out and he's like, you need to turn the camera off. So luckily I said what I said before. He told me to turn it off, so you can't have your camera in there. But quick little updates. I went in and, you know, they checked all my paperwork and the lady told me everything looks good, right? But then she's like, oh, I just realized that you live in Playa del Carmen, so you have to do it in Playa del Carmen. which is so frustrating for me because I'm like, I already went to the office in Playa del Carmen and they're like, you can't get an appointment, right? So basically you have to sign up for the appointment online. There are no appointments online in Playa del Carmen. So I went to the physical office already in Playa del Carmen to see if they could just give me an appointment. And they're like, you need to go home and do it online. So I went home and I applied in Cancun because this was like the closest office that's available. So basically, I don't really know what to do at this point. When I used the lawyer for part 1, but the thing is I speak fluent Spanish. You are filling out the most simple paperwork with your name, your occupation. Like there's nothing complex about it. So every single thing I have to do is done. So if I get a lawyer, the only thing they'll be able to help me with is just scheduling the actual appointment, which is the part I can't get, you know, because she already checked the paperwork and said everything is fine. So it's just a frustrating situation. It's frustrating, you know, and I'm like, yeah, in the grand scheme of things, you know, I know like coming to the US is so much harder. You know, like I had to go through that process. So this isn't much compared to it, but it's still frustrating because I'm like, there's no appointments online, and they just keep telling me to do it online, and they know there's literally no way around it, you know. So, and the stressful part is like my card is gonna expire in probably about like 9 days. It's when it's gonna expire. So like if it expires, then I'm losing my residency, you know. I think there's a 75-day grace period if it expires, but yeah, you're just at a point where I'm like, I don't know what to do because I'm doing all the things I'm supposed to do. But anyway, since I trekked all the way down to Cancun already, I'm gonna meet up with my friend Fly Girl. I'm gonna see where she's at, Victoria. I'm gonna see where she's at. She just got up, she said. So I'm gonna see, she's gonna show me a little bit of Cancun because I do not know Cancun like that, guys. Like, this is my second time in Cancun. Every time I come to Cancun, it's for something. It's for like an appointment. So I'm gonna have her show me a little bit of the touristy parts of Cancun that I haven't seen yet. Guys, if you haven't already, make sure to check out my Cancun vlog with Victoria. My girl, Fly Girl, is one of the biggest content creators here in Mexico with over 400,000 TikTok followers, okay? This is the girl right here in Mexico to be followed. She also does some amazing work giving back to the Mexican community. She has a foundation where she supports Mexican girls. We actually did a great vlog volunteering together over the summer. So be sure to check that out if you haven't already. All right, guys, so it's been 5 days since I went to Cancun to try to get my Mexican residency. So it's just been unsuccessful attempt after unsuccessful attempt after unsuccessful attempt. So basically, you know, I came back online and I tried to schedule another appointment. So I had to like start again from scratch. You refill out the form and then you get like a new, what they call a piazza number. So I was able to successfully do that and get in. But the problem I'm having from here out now is the same thing I was having before. There are just no appointments online in Playa del Carmen. So every time you go to the office, they'll tell you, you need to schedule online, but you go online and there's no appointments, you know? So then that's the frustration. It's just like, I have everything done. You know, at this point, the only thing a lawyer can help me with is just scheduling the appointment. So it's just really frustrating. My card expires December 7th. So my card is expiring in 3 days. From what I'm reading online, I think you have a 75-day grace period to do it, you know, so I could wait a little bit, I think, but I'm a little bit worried because I don't want the card to expire and then I have to go through part 1 again, which is gonna be go back to the US and start from scratch, right? So that is the frustrating part. So basically, I've reached out to the lawyer here to see if she's able to get me an appointment. So I'm just gonna see, because at this point, I feel like I've tried. I went to their office. They wouldn't give me an appointment. They told me I need to go do it online. But as I'm showing you online, you cannot even select an option. Then I went to Cancun to try to do it. And in Cancun, they tell me I have to do it in Playa del Carmen. And again, no appointments online. So it's just like, you know, so it is frustrating. it's frustrating. And I just wanted to just vlog this in the moment while I'm frustrated. You know, I don't want to vlog it like after I've resolved this and then I tell you the story, because right now I'm just really annoyed and frustrated. So I'm just telling you. You know, and then like, you know, even though I'm frustrated, a part of me is also like, you know, like I do know that like this process is still much easier than the process to move to the United States. Like, you know, as many of you know, I'm an immigrant. I'm a first generation immigrant. I immigrated to the United States. That was an entire crazy process. I can tell that story another day. So I know how easy this is compared to moving to the United States. So I have both perspectives, you know, but it is still very frustrating, especially after going to Cancun and just knowing that like all the forms are well, everything is good. The only thing I need is just an appointment and for somebody to just look at the forms and just give me the card, right? That is the only challenge I'm having, just somebody attending to me at the place, you know. So now I gotta like pay somebody. The fee is about 250 USD the lawyer's gonna charge you, you know, and literally for me it's just scheduling the appointment because I've done all the paperwork. There's like, you're filling out very basic information for part 2. You're filling out things like, you know, your name, your race, your weight, your passport number, your ID number for your Mexican residency, your address. Like, it's very simple stuff, the kind of stuff you would fill out when you go to a doctor's appointment, you know. So it's like there's nothing complex. The most complex part of part 2 is like you write a cover letter, basically just explaining in Spanish like, you know, what you're applying for. And for that there are plenty of templates you can even just pull online. Like, you know, when I went down to Cancun, they actually gave me a template. I already had my letter written, but I can probably show you all that as well. But it's just not a complex process. So this is why the frustration is happening. And, you know, if the card wasn't expiring so quickly, it wouldn't be as annoying for me, because like you can't renew it before 30 days before it expires, you know, and that's around when I first started this process a few weeks ago to try to do it. So it's coming down to the wire. I literally have like 3 days now, so it's frustrating. But I'm gonna keep y'all posted on what the lawyer says and if she's able to just get me an appointment. If she's able to get me an appointment, I'll just go through with it and just get it done, and then I won't have to think about it for 3 more years, you know. But it's just been unnecessarily annoying. They, you know, as a person who speaks Spanish, there is nothing complex. Like, I literally majored in Spanish. I have done more complex things in my life, you know, but it is what it is. But anyways, that's the rant. I just wanted to tell you guys and update you while I was in this moment of frustration, so that you can really see that I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated. It's annoying. So I'll keep you posted. I know it's going to work out. Like, it always works out. Things always work out for me. I know it's going to work out. And the next time you see me, it's probably going to be an exciting time and I'm going to have the residency in hand. But this is just, you know, the process you go through when you're trying to do it on your own. Hey guys, morning. So this is attempt number 3 at this residency situation. So loud. So this morning what I'm doing is I was able to speak to the lawyer, and we're gonna just show up at the office and see if they'll give us an appointment on the spot or take me today if they can. So we just gonna see. I'm going there to meet her now. I'm gonna stop at her office, which is pretty close to where the immigration is, and then we'll see if they can squeeze me in, because like my card expires tomorrow. So we'll see. So I'm gonna keep y'all posted on what happens once I get there. They probably won't allow me to vlog in there again, but I'm gonna update y'all later. And by the way, it is chilly in Playa del Carmen, okay? It's chilly this morning. think I still got probably about like 2 hours. I've been here about, what time did I get here? Shit, I've been here about 2 hours so far. I have about 2 more hours just waiting. So far I actually did win in and he actually signed in, so I'm just waiting for them to call my name. So they're about 6 people ahead of me, so it's gonna be a little while still, but hopefully it will come through. Here is rough today. All right guys, so after the third time of trying it, I finally had success. Like I went through the facilitator and I was able to do it successfully and walked away with the card after this, you know, so I was able to breathe a sigh of relief and not have to worry about it for 3 more years. But, you know, in my reflection, I do think, you know, a big part of the challenge for me was that I was going through this during high season, during November and December, when there were like a lot of people here in Playa del Carmen. So I think that's why it was a bit difficult to get an appointment. But if I were able to get an appointment, you know, without like any obstacles, like I would have been able to complete this like pretty fairly easily on myself. So I would say don't let this discourage you from like going about doing it yourself, you know, especially if you're doing it during a time where like there are appointments available. Like there are tons of videos that are showing you like how you can go through this on your own. It's not complex, like I've said multiple times. It's like, you know, straightforward forms that you're filling out. But if you want to just like do it and have peace of mind, you can do a facilitator. Also, like I have a recommendations guide with like, you know, a bunch of things to do here in Playa del Carmen, and I also have the information for the facilitator I went through, as well as just WhatsApp groups where you can ask questions about the residency process and just have, you know, like facilitators answer back to you. So that is available for purchase. I'm gonna link it in the description below. But yeah, feel free to purchase that, as well as it has so many things that you can do in Playa del Carmen if you're coming to visit or to live here. As I was going through the process and I was talking to friends, some of them were like, why didn't you just like hire somebody? And I'm like, one, I didn't expect to go through any challenges because I've seen so many videos of it just being like, you know, same day, no challenges, one. And then two, I speak fluent Spanish, or I speak Spanish fluently. So for me, it's like the equivalent of like hiring somebody to fill out a form in English as a native English speaker, like a simple form with my name and date of birth and like very simple information in a language that I speak fluently. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you have any questions, you know, about the process that I went through, as well as like if you went through the process either on your own or using a facilitator. Let me know how that went for you. So be sure to like this video, drop me some comments, and hit that subscribe button. And I'm gonna see you guys very, very soon in my next vlog. All right, bye.